2021 BMW M8 Competition Coupe. The M8 Grand Coupe is powered by a lusty twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 that makes 600 horsepower on the regular model and 617 on the competition version. Both made send that power to all four wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission. However, tail-out antics are made possible by a selectable rear-wheel drive mode that routes all the V8's fury to the back. A specially tuned adaptive suspension comes standard, and it can be adjusted through the sedan's customizable or preset drive modes. For those who want the ultimate performance from the M8 Grand Coupe, BMW offers carbon ceramic brakes on both models and exclusive Go Fast goodies with the competition package. The M8 Grand Coupe features an exquisitely appointed interior that looks as rich as it feels. While the design is more dignified than dazzling, the four-door M8 provides plentiful rear passenger space. It also offers a cornucopia of desirable standard features, such as a 12.3 inches digital gauge cluster, 16-way power front seats with memory settings, heating and ventilation, 4-zone climate control, leather upholstery, and more. 2019 BMW 8 Series M850iX Drive Coupe. The M850i uses a version of BMW's twin-turbocharged 4.4-liter V8. At least initially, the new 8 Series will be available only in this form, which exists in that twilight zone between regular production BMWs and full-blown M models. It splits the difference between the 456 horsepower V8 used in the M550i and the 617 horsepower version in the M5 competition. Fittingly, this is the same awkward, non-committal space pioneered 25 years ago by the best of the old 8 seconds, the fortified 372 horsepower 12-cylinder 850cc. At 523 horsepower, the M850i doesn't feel like much of a compromise, though, like almost all modern turbocharged engines, this 4.4-liter V8 is tuned for low-end torque, and there's a monstrous 553 pounds-ft available at a mere 1,800 revolutions per minute, and sustained until 4,600 revolutions per minute. And it's not as if there's a lack of thump lower or higher in the tachometer. Backing up all that grunt is the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission that has been adopted by nearly every manufacturer except Maytag and Schwinn. BMW has been installing this box in its cars and crossovers for a decade now and has massaged it over time into an exceptionally pleasant thing when left to its own devices, and a fairly responsive one when it's manually shifted. 2019 6 Series Alpina B6X Drive Grand Coupe. If a luxury sedan with a coupe-like roofline isn't distinct enough for you, consider the 2019 BMW Alpina B6 Grand Coupe. This special model accentuates the luxury and comfort of the four-door BMW 6 Series with notable upgrades that include special design appointments and, of course, more power. BMW says the Alpina B6 will accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a blistering yet effortless 3.6 seconds, which should improve just about any commute. Powerful brakes will keep all that speed in check, and an active suspension delivers both competent handling and excellent ride quality. 4-zone climate control, a supple leather interior, and 16-way power front seats with heating and 4-way lumbar support are sure to help deliver comfort for all on board, even on longer drives. BMW does a good job insulating against cabin noise, while an adaptive suspension can soften up on demand. BMW's latest iDrive control interface is notable for its large 10.2 inches display, sharp graphics, and fast processing times. Apple CarPlay support is standard, but it's free for only 1 year. Without the seats folded, there's 13 cubic feet of cargo capacity within the B6's trunk to split between passenger luggage. Additionally, the trunk liftover is on the high side, so hoisting heavy bags into it can be a pain. A minimalist cabin design means small item storage is a bit sparse. 2021 BMW M5. Sporting a twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 with 600 horsepower and 553 pounds-ft of torque, the M5 is mighty quick. At our test track, it launched to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds and snapped off a 10.9-second quarter-mile time at 129 miles per hour. Top speed is a governor-limited 163 miles per hour. An even more powerful M5 competition model is now available and makes 617 horsepower. It proved to be quicker than the regular M5 on a real racetrack at our annual Lightning Lap. The M5 faithful will lament the discontinued manual gearbox and unfamiliar all-wheel drive system, but this Bimmer has a high-tech drivetrain that can send 100% of power to the rear wheels for pure rear drive personality. Driving enjoyment is maximized here with lively and direct steering, a well-controlled ride, and heroic cornering grip. That doesn't mean the M5 can't also do duty as a luxury sedan. In comfort mode, it cruises placidly, and the cabin is whisper quiet. The system also adds Android Auto, cloud-based navigation features, and other improvements. Less obvious are the revised M-Mode settings, which are now easier to access thanks to being consolidated into a single button. 2019 BMW M5 Competition. After the mild disappointment of its emotion-light predecessor, the current 2019 BMW M5 marks a welcome return to form for the motorsport division's biggest sedan. But BMW's model development program moves to a staccato drumbeat these days, and we're now driven to focus on the new, fractionally turned-up competition version. The new car marks the transition from an option package to a separate trim level, one that's hairier than the standard M5 but some way short of the black-hearted transformation wrought to BMW models such as the M3 CS or the M4 GTS. Unlike the new M2 Competition, the M5 Competition doesn't replace the regular M5. Instead, it will be sold alongside it, carrying a $7,300 premium and boasting a modest increase in power, firmer suspension settings, and some very subtle cosmetic tweaks, the most obvious being the competition label that now appears beneath the M5 badge on the deck lid. The M5's twin turbocharged 4.4-liter V8 has its own engine code, S63B44T4, and you can read about how it differs from BMW's regular non-M8 of the same displacement here. The increase to 617 horsepower is pretty much a rounding error on the regular M5 600. Peak torque remains unchanged at 553 pounds-ft, but it's available across a fractionally broader rev range, all the way from 18,000 to 5,860 revolutions per minute. That means the BMW has more power than the Mercedes-AMG E63s, but less torque. (2021) BMW Alpina B7 X-Drive. The BMW Alpina B7 brings state-of-the-art technology, refinement, performance, and exclusivity to the full-size luxury sedan class. Alpina is a name famous in Europe for adding performance touches to BMWs. The B7 is standard with X-Drive all-wheel drive and is powered by a direct injection, 600 horsepower 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 bolted to an 8-speed automatic transmission with manual shift control. The B7 includes standard luxury features such as 4-zone automatic climate control, power sunroof, high-gloss wood trim, heated 16-way multi-contour front seats, heated rear seats, Harman Kardon sound system, voice-activated navigation system on a 10.3 inches color touchscreen, gesture control, wireless cell phone charging, power trunk lid, head-up display, HD radio, and 20-spoke 20 inches forged alloy wheels. Safety features include active cruise control with stop and go, active park distance control, parking assistant plus, surround view camera system, BMW Assist Emergency, and information communications, adaptive LED brake lights, adaptive LED headlights with high beam assistant, head-up display, active lane keeping assistant, collision mitigation, as well as extensive use of CFRP in the structure of the vehicle for greater passenger safety and decreased weight. High-tech options include dual LCD screens for rear seat entertainment, a rear tablet controller, Bowers and Wilkins surround system, night vision, and a Sky Lounge LED roof. The B7 carries over with minimal changes for 2021. 2020 BMW Z4 M40. It's for the best that the 2020 BMW Z4 convertible, particularly in 6-cylinder M40i guise, is essentially a decapitated 2020 Toyota Supra, a car that was co-developed with the BMW and shares virtually all of its mechanical identity. The latest Supra might not be enough of a Toyota for loyalists, but it is no slouch. There's a lot of performance baked into the new platform to bolster the Z4's sports car credentials. We'd be cool with BMW making the Z4 drive even more like the Supra. From our prior experience with the entry-level Z4's Driva 30i, when it lost to the Porsche 718 Boxster in a comparison test, we know that the BMW is a highly athletic and agile roadster in need of better steering and either more power or less mass. Stepping up to the M40i handily fixes the latter issue, replacing the standard 255 horsepower turbo 4-banger with a turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-6 good for 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Wonderfully smooth and willing to rev, BMW's B58.6 is a honey, bringing the Z4 to life with a 1,600 revolutions per minute torque peak and pulling like a mule to its 7,000 revolutions per minute redline. The melody of its intake growl overlaid with the refined snarl of the Z4's exhaust, especially with the top down, never gets old, although the active exhaust system emitting pops and gurgles in the sportier drive mode seems a bit juvenile considering the Bimmer's price. 2021 BMW M4 Competition Coupe. For the uninitiated, the BMW M4 is the highest performing version of the 4 Series, itself a 2-door version of BMW's ever-popular 3 Series compact sedan. Spiritual ancestors include the legendary E30 M3 that was born in the mid-80s, the bigger E36 M3 that came in the 90s, the beloved E46 M3 that arrived shortly after the turn of the millennium, the V8-powered, Obama-era E92 M3, and, finally, the F82 M4, this car's direct predecessor, and the first to call itself an M4 instead of M3 coupe, at least until the inevitable CSL, GTS, CS versions come along. This rear-drive competition spec M4 is the most potent M4 you can get, featuring 30 more HP than the regular M model and an 8-speed automatic gearbox instead of the non-comp 6-speed manual. Natural rivals include the Mercedes-AMG C63S Coupe, a car that's tipped to reinvent itself as a 4-cylinder hybrid soon, as well as the Audi RS5, powered by the company's new S58 twin-turbo straight-six first seen in the X3 and X4M crossovers. The M4 Comp pairs the motor with expertly calibrated launch control that's able to deliver prodigious straight-line pace. It's verifiably and undeniable a very fast car, but drag racing isn't really something I'd posit as the M4 Comp's race in detre, especially in an era of sub-2-second EVs and performance SUVs from BMW's own catalog, which can get up to speed sooner still. 2021 BMW M3 Competition Sedan. The 2021 BMW M3 Competition is available in New Zealand for a starting price of $168,900 plus on-road costs. This gives you a 4-door sedan with a menacing stance and a 3.0-liter twin-power straight-six. This beast of an engine pushes out 375 kW and 650 Nm of torque. Married with the 8-speed M automatic transmission, it can launch the vehicle to 100 km per hour in 3.9 seconds, so that you can put all that power down on the road. The M3 Competition has BMW's MX Drive, which allows the car to run in all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive configurations. This engine also advertised a combined fuel consumption rating of 10.2 liters divided by 100 kilometers and 232 grams per kilometer combined CO2 emissions. The M3 Competition is available in 16 different colors. This is split into a range of gloss and frozen finishes. It's really nice to see a good splash of color across the options. Our review car was Isle of Man Green Metallic. There are 7 different rim configurations that range from 18 to 20. This car had the 20 inches M forged wheels, double spoke style 826M black selected. The interior upholstery has just as many options as the exterior, with 15 leather options. 2020 BMW M340i. A weird sort of identity crisis has been afflicting the big three German luxury manufacturers. Audi, BMW, and Mercedes have been busy blending elements of each other's identity into their own, and the latest example is BMW purloining absurd horsepower from Mercedes-AMG's personality profile. The M5 competition makes 617 horsepower. You can get a 503 horsepower inline 6 in the X3M and X4M, and even in the humble 3 Series, the not quite full M treatment 3.0-liter inline 6 makes 382 horsepower in the M340i tested here. Soft words like peppy no longer accurately describe the 6-cylinder 3 Series. It's frenetic now, even brutal. The rear-drive version hits 60 miles per hour from a standstill in 3.8 seconds, and its 30 to 50 mph passing time of 2.4 seconds is in league with vastly more powerful cars. It feels like by the time you're fully in the passing lane, it's already time to pull back to the right, and yet the B58 straight 6 remains the pinnacle of smoothness, almost electric in its vibration-free power delivery. Audi, Mercedes, and even Genesis are redefining interior quality in this class, and yet BMW is resolutely sticking to obviously synthetic and rubberized plastic on the dash and doors. It's a shame the company wouldn't fight for the manual the way it's apparently fighting to keep this stuff. No stick is available with any 3 Series engine until the next M3 arrives, but that rubbery material does make the car feel familiar, and when you pitch it down a winding road, you realize this is the opposite of an identity crisis. This is exactly what a 3 Series should feel like on fast forward. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment in the comment section below.